Welcome to the June 14th, 2023 meeting of the Berlin Conservation Commission. Open session. Public meetings are subject to being recorded. Your image and voice will be recorded. You forgot to remind me last time. All right. Right to it. Minutes of the previous meeting. Everybody see them, read them? Any comments?
Didn't see any already?
Nope, looked good.
No omissions?
Very thorough.
Yep, yep. Can I have a motion to approve minutes of the last meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All right. We have to vote. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask you to vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Do we have a treasurer's report?
Kind of. So I do have an update on the budget. We were around 771 or so, and I saw we approved like up to 250. So we still, I mean, I don't know what you spent, but
96.
oh, so we still have like $600, 650 or so to spend. If she spent over 100, yeah.
Yeah.
So there should be like a fair amount that we can spend in the next 2 weeks if we have a project.
Garden.
Awesome.
But everything else, like, is such a mess because of the sale. And there's like 8 million different accounts now, and they haven't been reconciled, so.
Excellent.
Yeah. So this is the only one I have an update
All
on.
right, well, all right, that's good at least.
I do have some money for the wetland,
Oh, good.
some NOI filing fees.
Okay. Oh, you know, and I did have a question from the minutes from last month when I wasn't here. There were a couple of KP Law checks from like December, and there were some other ones that had already gone through, so, from that time frame. So did we just,
Yeah, so we ended up submitting, what was it, for like 6,000 last week?
yeah.
They did change it and reduce it
Okay.
down to like 2,000.
Got our
Yeah.
homework back?
It's a big difference.
Yeah,
Yes, I saw that one and that one.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there was Carter Street stuff.
Yeah,
Which
there was
wasn't
Car-
necessarily our
Okay.
stuff, more CPA stuff.
Right,
Okay.
right. So this is the one that changed the most.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Um,
All right, I'll take a picture of that then and update that.
awesome.
And then hopefully, like, the fiscal year end is in 2 weeks, so hopefully we'll have, she said July 15th, we'll have the like, or I think it's due back by July 15th or something like that.
Right,
So,
right. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't gotten the encumbrances package, but we don't have anything anyway, right? As far as.
we shouldn't.
So that's money that's to be spent and paid for this year,
Mhm.
but that we haven't actually submitted.
Yeah. It looked like everything had cleared, like all the MACC classes, and
Awesome.
so, and we can get that in, and,
Yeah. Yeah, this will be the last thing.
yeah, but we should definitely try and spend the rest of that money.
Well, we have to do it tonight if we're gonna.
Anybody have a project?
All right, so that's that. Any other bills and forms, anything in the mail?
Nope.
All right, moving right along. All right, well, let's do this then while we're here. So this is a reimbursement to AJ for $96.50 for, right.
The post for the net.
Right, so at the last meeting, we approved to spend up to $200 for the post for the nets.
Mm-hmm.
Some were donated, and so then we bought the rest, and the total was $96.50, not including tax. So can I get a motion to reimburse AJ $96.50?
So moved.
Oh,
Wow.
Second.
Can I have it tonight?
No. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, actually, AJ, you have to sign this too.
I did not? Oh, my
You
goodness.
did not.
Fit of madness.
And then we need the cover sheet for this.
Yeah. What fund will that be
Who does
taken
that?
from?
Our accounting people.
Yeah.
Is this the cover sheet? Or,
Oh, yeah.
Is this the cover sheet?
I don't know. Things to submit.
Yeah, what fund?
Right, yeah, the schedule of bills payable, so this is the request.
Yeah, all right, so you got that one. Yeah, it
And
should
then-
just be those two.
Right,
And they changed, that one's different now. So, like, that's the new one, I think.
Mhm.
all right.
So,
Yeah, which fund is that gonna
Yeah.
be taken from?
this would go out of the budget fund,
Yeah,
Okay.
the budget account, I should say.
Yep.
And note, I did not ask for reimbursement on the candy bar.
I
Just-
did notice that.
Just the post.
Yeah.
Oh, and we have to take the tax out too. Did you take the tax out?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
so
did not include it.
There was $6, right, so that's why I circled that.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
Just to be clear, that's
Okay.
the number we're looking at.
Sounds good.
All right, so I'll let you fill that out, and then we all
Yep.
need to sign this before,
We all do?
I mean,
I think just you.
I've gotten stuff back. I say we all just, I know, we'll just sign it. We're all here, it's easy.
Yeah, well, we used to sign it all until COVID, and then just the chair
Just, right,
could sign.
right.
But then didn't we pass something that we could just give,
A-
you
a
could make
threshold.
it one,
I
you
can,
just
right,
do
I
it?
can approve up to $500, and then we have to vote on it, right? But since we're all here, let's
Okay.
just sign it.
Okay.
I don't always understand. Maplewood Farm, at the last meeting, everything looked good, so I think we're probably good there. Highland Ridge, most recent monitoring report, did I miss it?
so the most recent one was from June 4th. But we have 108 and 109 since last meeting.
Okay. Wow, that looks good. Looks like they're starting to pave. Looks like it's even
Where's this?
settling out.
Highland Ridge. Yeah.
No trash was observed, yeah, that actually looks good. I'll pass these around,
Oh,
but
okay.
here, I'll start with you if you want.
Oh, you signed down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, it's probably the best picture I've seen out of there so far.
First time in a row.
Yeah, did you wanna?
Yeah, I got one of these anyway, for sure.
Yeah, there's a big piece of equipment going up to, Russo, going
Yep.
up there to the, like a backhoe or that type.
Right. That clock is not right.
Ooh. That looks a little wet.
Yeah, well, he usually goes up after it rains, so, or while
Like-
it's raining.
Like tonight.
Like,
Yeah.
yes,
Boy,
he will
that's
probably
probably
go
washed
out there
too.
tomorrow morning, I know.
Right.
Do I sign it?
Yep. Oh, no, you're the requester.
Did you see these?
That's the second time.
And Robin, that's you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I can,
Oh,
yeah, I can do the, oh, I'll do this, thank you.
Oh. Yeah, I don't need that.
awesome. Allen Road, there's nothing new. And look at that, right on time, 7:14. You didn't bring an updated plan? You just,
Oh, no, I thought you said we're not gonna, don't print out the plan until you had said something to me, so you said the PDF is fine. I would've made one, it's not a problem. You said don't do any, last time we had the hearing, you said don't bring a plan until we,
until, okay, well.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
mean, would've
I
brought one if
do,
you guys
yep.
asked me one, but it's on PDF. You've seen that one, right?
I have.
With the revisions.
They haven't.
Yeah, well, you guys told me to please bring a plan to the hearing. Nobody told me that.
Yeah.
Which one was this for? 61 Lancaster?
61
The
Lancaster,
plan that we
yeah,
have from the last time is really, there's not much difference on the plan.
right.
There's not, what
Do
what
you
you
have
have
that
from the
with you?
last hearing.
Can we keep a record of all that?
Yeah, just keep an eye on it.
Is that the one that was
I
emailed?
don't, I don't mind providing a
Yeah.
copy of it either, so
Yeah.
I just
Well,
didn't-
we'll definitely need a copy.
Yeah, that's,
For the, right. Yeah, I was traveling for business all last week.
that's okay,
so,
no, it's not.
So when I asked you
Mm-hmm.
for the dimensions of the driveway, and you responded, you asked me why I needed that, because the drawing is scaled. I would like to know how wide the driveway is gonna be,
Yeah, it's,
and I would like it printed on here.
it is. So let me see, if you come up, you know the plan that, oh, this is an older plan.
Right, this is what I have.
But,
A physical copy of.
The, in the PDF, I think Maddie,
Yeah, I did see that you,
it's on the.
Is it on there?
Yeah.
yep.
That was on there, and
So how
then
wide is it?
12 feet. Let me
Yeah.
see. So if you go up, sorry, I don't want to touch
Yeah.
it. But if you, is that all right?
Yep,
Okay.
yeah, that's fine, yep.
So if you go up a little bit, right there, 12.
Okay,
The width in between the erosion controls is 20.
okay,
The pipe is shown.
yep,
And all this wall stuff here, you saw all that on the.
yes,
Yeah.
we saw that on the last time. Right, so there's the rock wall with the gravel. And how's it going with the Board of Health?
Just still, we gotta we had a continuance.
Okay.
So I understand you probably don't want to release an order of conditions until Board of Health, so that's fine, but whatever's on this plan now, is that sufficient to obtain an order of conditions from you guys, subject to Board of Health approval?
I believe so.
Okay, that's, I mean,
'cause- right,
I
'cause
understand you
everything-
guys work in conjunction, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not, you know, I
Yep.
understand that one can't give leverage to the other. I understand that. That's completely understood, but I just want to make sure that what I have on this plan here is sufficient, under the jurisdiction.
So, the driveway width is right there. The silt fencing is there. And then we've got the gravel and the stone wall where the driveway comes close to the 25-foot and where it's pretty steep. And I think that's pretty much all we were asking for
In terms of revisions,
in,
yes.
in terms
Mhm.
of revisions.
How wide is the wetlands crossing there?
It's 20 feet. Well, the pipe's like 35 feet, but it's like 25 to 30 feet. What was there?
Does that require a variance or is that given?
What this here? The
Yeah.
crossing?
Yeah,
Nothing from zoning. The lots are pre-existing non-conforming. So the lot doesn't have the frontage, but it's a pre-existing non-conforming
well,
lot.
I mean,
Yep.
it depends on your perspective. I remember when this was a cattle field.
Yeah, right.
Cows grazed in it.
Right.
So some speculator comes in and divides it all up and
Right, right.
makes a lot of money on a lot of lots and, oh,
Yep.
this one we won't bother.
Right.
So they set it there.
Right.
Now somebody comes back 3, 4 decades, 5 decades later,
Yep.
you know, this is a non-conforming lot. It is, you know, it was a self-inflicted non-conforming lot. It wasn't something that been there for time immemorial, so I
Yeah.
don't think it classifies or qualifies
Right.
for any, permission to violate the wetlands. That's my view of it.
If you don't mind me asking, what's the violation of the wetlands?
You're crossing it and you're filling it in.
No, it's already, but it's there. It's already been there. There's a
Right,
pipe
they're
there.
not,
So, I mean, and again, I'm not looking to argue with anybody, but there has been 2 wetland scientists out there looking at this, and there's a detailed report on that crossing. There is a detailed report on the crossing, and basically their word's going to be better than mine or anybody else's. So really, at the end of the day, there's 2 wetland scientists that have been on this property in detailed reports. And that's not cheap, and I think, they know what they're doing.
Is this a perennial stream?
Oh, intermittent. It's been deemed intermittent. Existing intermittent stream.
so Walter, there was a, RDA on this property.
ANRAD.
An ANRAD, sorry. And Pat checked it and.
Pat, yeah, peer reviewed it.
Yep. So, all right. So what I would like to do is continue this until.
absolutely. No problem.
Until you get in touch with us and let us know that
I'm sure the
you're all
Board of-
set with the Board of Health.
Right, no problem. Yep. I just wanted to make sure what I have on that plan is sufficient, for order of conditions, that's all. And I understand I have to wait till the Board of Health, because anyways, I can't do anything to the lot till I get approval
Right.
from them. So that's fair enough.
All right.
How old is the lot?
I don't know, how old is
I
it?
think it was.
I'm only 36, so I don't know how old it is.
Yeah, it's older than you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lots all over this country that are real old, right?
It was, I believe it was divided in the late 70s, early 80s, is what I remember.
Yeah, I think it might be 70s,
70s,
but I wouldn't guarantee it,
right.
right?
So,
You know what everybody does? They take what's easy first, right? And they leave the hard stuff for later.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, what I'm getting at is that was this lot, was the, what was I getting at? Was this lot there before or after the
Zoning?
zoning?
Before.
Before.
Yeah, it is grandfathered.
Common ownership is not a problem. It's never held in common ownership. It's a mass law that if it's never held in common ownership, it's grandfathered. It's a protected lot. A&R plan was before zoning.
Have test holes been done?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's long gone.
Yep.
That's yeah.
Yeah,
All the perks are there. The deep holes are there. There's no refusal. There's no ledge.
right. All right, so if
Yeah,
you're
no
in
problem.
agreeance of that.
Yep, we'll continue it
And
and-
when you come in, bring copies.
All right. So I'll bring a copy. How many
Yeah.
copies do you need?
Just 2.
So what I'll do is if the Board of Health requires any more revisions, I'll get those on there, and then, so I'll wait till I have their hearing before I make more copies.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
too.
And
Thank
we'll
you.
wait to hear from you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, yep.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thanks. All right. Well, we're a little bit early for our next appointment, and they are not here. So maybe we'll work on some of our end of the evening stuff.
Can we go to Eagle Woods right away? Because Tom is
We
here.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Come on up, Tom.
I'm trying to get to Best Buy before they close, because the lightning storm took out my router.
Oh, no. All right. So,
Acre Woods. So we have banded birds there twice. We did this past Sunday and the Sunday before that. We are up to, let's see, so the first day we got 6, 11. So we've had 13 new birds and 2 recaps. So
Oh, wow.
last Sunday we caught 2 of our oven birds that we banded the previous Sunday in the same exact nets.
so does
They're not very
that, do you
smart.
infer that they're living there?
Yep, so good
And
chance we're in
nesting.
their territory. Yep.
Yep.
And they're
Awesome.
nesting. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we've had some helpers. Gracie's been out helping us launch the birds. Peg as well.
Awesome.
Was there to launch the birds.
Yeah. What birds have you found up there?
So a good number of oven birds. They've been our, let's see, we've had 7 ovenbirds up there.
Wow.
And then one veery, one eastern wood peavy, one red-bellied woodpecker, and one eastern towhee. So,
Nice.
yeah, it's off to a good start. It's a beautiful area. We also keep track of all the birds that we're hearing and encounter too on the site, just to get an idea of what is actually breeding there. And then prior to starting banding, we met with DCR forester Chris Pryor, and he walked along with me, AJ, and Walter, and talked about different options we have. I also figured out that the grant that we got was for more than just Ager. It's for all of Ball Hill Conservation Area.
Oh, wow.
So it's 136 acres, so it goes all the way up
Good.
to Linden Street there.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
So
So that's both sides
Yeah.
of the road of Ball Hill.
Yeah, so it's, the upper part there too. And so I contacted a forester that focuses on bird habitat just last night, and she wrote back to me, so we'll be talking
awesome.
about what we can do up there to
That's
improve it.
That's fabulous. So, Tom, what's your last name?
Pernod,
Pernod is in a butter,
I'm in a butter.
and
And I was just reporting to them, I happened upon them, I live, for those of you who are from here, I live in Dave Marble's house.
oh.
we're
That's
not
how
from
everybody
here,
knows
that's not
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't
I'm
hold
not
that
from
against
here.
you.
Yep.
Yeah. I
But-
didn't hear what you just
He
said.
lives in Dave
I
Marble's
live in
house.
Dave Marble's house.
Oh, okay.
You're from here.
Yeah. Awesome.
Anyway, I walk my dog like twice a day, every day, and my partner walks the dog once or twice a day as well. So I'm in the woods there quite frequently. And last fall, we noticed that someone had come through and like they were cutting down small saplings that were in the trail, and they were pulling rocks out of the trail, like dislodging very large boulders, and then just sort of rolling them aside and leaving a hole there where the boulder was in the middle of the trail. And my partner later on encountered someone out there who said, oh, they'd seen somebody from the town doing that. And it's somebody that we know who lives up the street, or at least as she recalled. And in searching around, they were there, but then in the winter, I noticed at one point that someone had ridden a snowmobile out there. And in tracing it back, we found that the trail that they used goes in, I showed these guys where it is, so rather than me trying to explain, it's just right up the parking lot. They basically done the same thing, but cut a trail through the woods. I didn't follow it very far, but it goes down towards where the school bus turnaround is. So they basically moved these rocks out of the trail and whatnot so they could ride their snowmobile in there. So
Right.
that's kind of what I would report to these folks, just to see if maybe there's something. we could-
Tom, may I add something right there? Where they moved these large boulders out, they left
There's big
a
holes in the trail.
bushel-sized hole for
Yeah.
hikers to fall on.
They could easily, I mean, in the fall, when I thought the town did it, I said, well, are they gonna come and fill these in with gravel or something? I mean, what's going on?
Right. Right.
Yeah, when they're full of leaves, you
You don't know, you
Yeah.
could
You could
easily, you could
Yeah.
easily step in and break an ankle or something
Well,
like that.
somebody riding a horse through there could be in trouble.
Yeah, yeah, somebody
Right.
riding a horse could be in
Yeah.
trouble, but it's one thing that, A, you're not supposed to ride motorized vehicles in there, but B, it's kind of reckless to go around and create potholes for other people to.
Yes. Unfortunately, that is not the only property we have that problem on.
I have heard.
And, any set of eyes that you want to be about that?
I mean,
We would
again,
welcome.
I'm happy to report, but I know to count you guys if we see anything additional going on that, we can report that. I
Yeah.
have seen other things where trees have been cut up, but I think that was, from talking to you folks, it was someone from the town. Because in some of the microbursts we had last year, some big trees came down out there and they were like, a tree like this that was across the trail.
Right.
Someone with a chainsaw and cut some of those up and stuff, but I think that was the town.
Right.
Whereas the people pulling out the rocks were being a little bit less, a little more sloppy about it.
Yeah.
and it could be SVT cutting those trees out. They hold the CR on that property.
Right.
Right.
Or.
But again, it was
Right.
it was trees that had fallen
Yeah,
down literally
yeah.
just over the trail. And
Yep.
it was,
Yeah.
a big round tree, and the trail had basically changed to go around the tree.
Right.
Someone just came and cut out the middle of the tree so the trail could continue the way it was.
Right. And did these guys talk to you about kind of what we're looking to do there?
I understand that you're potentially looking to change the habitat to be more bird friendly,
Right.
which I'm very cool about. I have a bunch of bird feeders in my yard, and I spend hundreds of dollars on bird feeders.
And you haven't gotten any bears yet?
Oh, no, we have got bears.
Yeah.
But I've got an elaborate a system of cables and pulleys where I have the bird feeders suspended between trees on cables, and the bears can't get at them,
Nice.
squirrels can't get at them, but
Nice.
the birds can.
Yeah.
And I
Excellent.
have like 4 hummingbird feeders up right now.
Awesome. Well, thank you for helping
Sure.
with
So-
the birds. And yeah, so, you know, if you have any more questions in the future, feel free to email us. That's the easiest way.
Okay. I
Both
get it.
Maddie and I monitor the email.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and
Well,
thanks for
thank you.
coming in.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you again, Tom.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you around, hopefully.
And look at that, we are just spot on tonight. So we have got Igor and Sergio. Oh. Sorry. Come on up.
So when you get a chance.
Yep. Sure. So these are the guys from Verizon.
Thank you for jumping forward.
Yeah, no problem.
I made 7 copies. Looks like I was right on spot, so I don't know if you guys had enough to get a copy.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Get my own?
You do. We don't even have to share.
Help if I could read.
Well, that I can't help you with. All right.
I think I've seen this plan.
So, do you want me to explain or you
I
go
do.
on?
Nope.
So, Igor Yevsuk, I work for Structure Consulting Group. We are consultants for Verizon Wireless. So Verizon is basically looking to add to its network in the area. There's a gap right now they're trying to fill. And I was tasked with the basically job to find something that would work for Verizon and satisfy that objective. So doing my research and looking at everything, I usually first come to the municipal entities to begin with, just to see if there's opportunity to work with the towns. I mean, any different, branches of the town. But once that is exhausted, I mean, I move to private owners usually. So in doing that, I identified this parcel, which is a Conservation Commission control parcel, and then we had a walk with 2 of your colleagues there, probably a couple months ago, I'd say at this point, and we walked that to the, not all the way to potential tower location, but somewhere in the top, probably halfway through. So Sylvester here is from TEP, the engineering firm. So basically, they're the ones who prepared the drawings. So that's just initial proposal that I sent, and I know they would require RFP and all kind of town approvals. But I guess I was asked to come and talk to you guys. I honestly don't know what the questions are because I wasn't told. so I just giving you a general overview. So that's the location we prefer. When I met there, there was also talk about potential further location at the back corner of the property. That would probably require further that way. That would require probably another, 150 to 200 feet of roadway. So, because we need to get to the tower somehow, and there's there's an existing path there. there's like a trail that we can improve. It's just a gravel road, but still, given the, the way the elevations and everything else there, that location. That would require, of course, longer driveway and, of course, much more money spent from us. So we prefer to stay where we are proposed. If that's something you absolutely oppose, I can bring that other location back to Verizon and see if they can authorize budget-wise. It's probably a couple $100,000 more I need to spend on the driveway just to get there, and we would need to disturb much more of your.
But that would still be on the conservation land.
Still on the same land,
Right.
still on the same parcel.
Right.
May I ask something? Is this location in the field?
No,
It is in the forest.
No, it's all the way in the forest. Yeah.
We walked into this lat-long location.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
We didn't go all the way to. You guys left, and then we kind of walked, tried to get. I kind of know, but it's probably. It's not on the field. No, it's probably. I don't know, good couple hundred feet off the.
I just wanted to
Yeah.
verify that it
Yeah.
was in the
I
forest.
can overlay the field, just the drawings if you want to. I can overlay it. We can send you the. I think it's kind of. It's not black. It's black and white over there. It didn't come out, but it's probably.
Right, yeah, you can kind of see in the picture.
It's way past the field.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say probably a couple hundred feet from the field.
Yeah.
So we propose to hug, when we talk, we propose to hug the field because you don't want us to go through
Right.
with the roadway and any utilities we run along the roadway. So we'd be hugging. Basically, we come in of Route 62. I think there's like a little ditch there, and we come up, and then the field starts. We go immediately right, hug the field, and come back with the existing path and just go into the woods.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's the proposal. It's just an initial. I understand there's many
Sure.
things involved,
Yep.
but I guess
Gotta start
I don't know what your
somewhere.
questions are. Feel free to fire away, but it's pretty standard Verizon tower proposal. Sylvester can talk about construction aspects of it, or any questions you guys have on a conservation side of things. But
Right.
it's pretty. There's no paving. It's just a gravel road. 20 feet wide.
Right. So, I guess from a conservation perspective, my first question is how much of that wooded area would need to be cleared?
I would
Just 20 feet? Would it need to be wider than that?
It would have to be, because the road itself is 12 feet wide, and then the additional 20 feet would be our target. Sometimes a little bit more, but sometimes a little bit less. So I could say the ballpark is 20 feet wide clearance.
Okay.
And some of it, like that path is pretty wide to begin with. When you get right, so probably first up to 100 feet, I would say it's pretty clear there already.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to kind of get off of the path a little bit. So it's not. Some of that's already kind of clear, and we're happy to walk with. All of
Right.
you guys there, kind of to give you an idea. It becomes a little challenging once we get off the path. It's a little up and down there, and we need to clear. But yeah.
Right.
Just for your regular 4x4 truck to get to the tower once it's built. To
Right.
build it we need to bring a trailer to stack the tower, but once it's built, the only people who will be using it is just a regular 4x4 truck.
Right.
Once couple of months they just come and check on the site, and that's about it.
Right. Yeah, I would love to get out there and walk it,
Mhm.
but I work the same hours you guys work. And you guys don't want to do a weekend or whatever.
We can figure out. I'm sure we can do weekend Saturday. We can figure out one of the Saturdays
Right.
if you guys want to do it. We can meet after 5. I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
Now
That
it's-
might work.
We're on a trail here where we're acting like we're going to permit something.
No, we're not.
You're applying for something to come in, and we're analyzing it, and we can allow it or not. Keep in mind that we're here to protect the environment, open space, anything we can to help the town. And if we're gonna allow this, I wanna know how much we can get out of it accrue to us so we can buy more land and protect more land. So my point, right off the bat, is important to me. What do you people typically pay for that? I won't vote for it unless we get at least $75,000 a year.
So, the way that works with the municipal governments, you guys issue an RFP. RFPs are issued you are welcome to put minimal bid amount on RFP, and then you say this is minimum rent we would need to collect.
Okay.
Because we have to go through RFP. It's a state law. I cannot just sign a lease with you guys. Typically. $75,000 from one carrier, it's not really, it's kind of high, to be honest with you. We usually pay probably half of that. But in this location, and we can talk about, it's Board of Appeals, Planning Board, whoever's going to be in, any other branches of the government here. If towers built, there's more than one carrier, and it's usually built for more than one carrier. If we come and build it, it's AT&T, T-Mobile, and Dish Network.
Right.
They
So
will come there as well.
Right.
So ultimately, for you, $75,000 is very attainable. Between 4 carriers, will be more than that.
Okay.
But just for one carrier, it's high. I mean, I would say our
Right.
usual budget we use for those is probably half of that.
Right, but what you're saying is if you build it, they will
Yeah.
come kind of thing?
Yeah, and then we can, I mean, again, you can structure RFP in your lease, you attach to the RFP in a way like, okay, you guys build, but we retain the ground rights. I mean, there's all kind of, I don't know if you guys, you have counsel who has experience in that. I mean, we can talk on the lease
Sure.
aspects of it,
Yep.
but that's a further out. The question is like if you guys would even allow that because it is a conservation land.
Right, well, and to Walter's point, it would need to be worth it for
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
To, you know, to allow it, so.
I can imagine like kind of like, I mean, the structure say you can say, okay, here's the initial rent, but like every carrier has to pay a certain revenue share for the tower, and we control the ground space. I mean, there's different levels of like
Right.
revenue you can get and how you can structure it. Like asking straight ahead for $75,000 a year, probably not going to work for any carrier. And nobody has that kind of budget just by itself.
Right.
But combining
How much did you say you were gonna pay if you had to go into the second site? What would it cost you?
probably a couple 100,000 more just for the road access. Probably 200,000 more.
So that would be 30 years at 75,000, probably, something like that. So, I mean, if you're willing to pay that, seems as though this is a pretty good spot up in Rattlesnake Hill. It really covers the area
Yeah.
quite well. Okay.
Right.
And the other thing we gotta worry about is, do we get it, or does it go into general fund?
Correct.
It does, and then do we get out of it? We don't get out of it what we were talked about on another bad situation. that
Correct.
We did.
Yep,
So, I mean, you
yep.
gotta think of all these things. I don't wanna get hoodwinked again.
I agree.
Yeah, and certainly to your point, Walter, if we give up this conservation land, it's pretty important to this town that we offset that with some additional
Absolutely.
something.
Right.
And I don't know how you guys can, I mean, I don't know in town how you can subdivide that. I mean, we only need,
Yeah,
35 by 35. I mean, other care, if everybody comes in, you probably need like 50 by 50 compound.
Right.
Plus the access road. So whatever the square footage that comes out, and the rest could stay. But I don't know frontage wise and how you can subdivide them, and we
Right.
would have to. You guys would have to look at that.
Right. My only other initial question is, it looks like, do you know if you guys need to get permission to cross the aqueduct?
Is there aqueduct there?
does it
Yeah.
run through there?
It-
Oh.
That's what this is.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, right. When you get in, yeah. I mean that would. I mean whatever.
I'm just
Whatever
curious.
requirement
Yeah.
I mean, if you go through yours and if it needs to be state, I mean, we'll do our own. We
Right,
do
yeah,
NEPA, we do SHPO, we do everything.
That's
so.
MWRA.
Yeah.
So, okay, just.
I mean,
I'm
whatever
just-
permits we need, we
That's
definitely.
more of a nosy question than
And you can kind of see what the field is because that's the field we're hugging. So
Yep.
if you go straight line,
Yep.
so that's
Right.
what the field is. And
Right.
You can see power lines there, so that's kind of helps. As
Yeah, I
well.
thought that was the power line,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. That's the one. Yeah. So we
Sure
are willing to work with you guys in any way possible. Just I mean I
Right.
understand because it's a conservation land. It's a sensitive issue usually with the towns, and I mean whatever you guys can suggest to us, I'll bring it back to Verizon and.
Yeah, I mean, I do think a project like this has minimal impact. What term lease do you generally?
Typically, for something like that, we ask for 25-year lease.
Right,
Yeah, something
Okay.
long term because they will spend like even for that they'll spend over $500,000 just to build it.
right,
So we would like to have opportunity to recoup it with
Sure.
the
Yep.
usage. And I mean, you probably if you can structure the deal in a way that's beneficial for you too. So that's a revenue stream that comes to town for the next 25 years. Or
right,
to the
right. I
commission.
mean, we can't enter into a contract with you guys anyway. That has to be
That's-
the
yeah, I
town.
understand, yeah.
So, whatever we're looking to get out of this, we need to work with
Yeah.
the people in.
And RFP process is also peculiar in a way, like we come into it, we ask for that. You issue RFP for everybody, it goes to central register. Somebody might come behind us and pay more. I mean,
Right.
somebody might say, I need this too. Like this is building right now. Some tower company, independent tower company will get a hint of it, or well, somebody's asked for it, so maybe we can do that.
Right, so how does that work? So
It's a competitive bid. You said you put it out, and then
I
whoever bids
see.
the highest, you choose the winning bidder, and then you work with that winning bidder on a lease agreement and all the percentages and how you want to structure the deal.
Right,
Ah.
but then that entity leases to the other
If we lose
companies?
if we lose it, like we all know each other. Like,
Right,
so
sure.
if we lose to AT&T will lease to us. And
I see.
You,
Yeah, yeah.
Our, like, but typically carriers can pay more because like tower companies as a business model, they're making money. They're not a carrier. They don't care about service.
Sure.
They're just making money. They're basically like a landlord.
Right.
Carriers will pay more because they want it for themselves, but they become a landlord to other carriers as well. And then, I mean, whatever model is monetized and however you can sell it to somebody, maybe in the future they'll sell it, maybe somebody will buy it as an asset. I mean, there's different ways. I mean, there's different ways to structure it. You can talk to a town solicitor or whoever's doing
Yeah.
consulting for the town. There's a tower. I mean, I think there's only one tower in the town.
I know there's one on
Yeah.
private property.
Yeah, but I don't
Right.
know. I don't know if they knew on the town land. But I mean, talk to your attorney, like town
Right.
attorney, and I'm sure he has an idea as how to
Right,
structure
and
it.
I mean, I don't think this is any kind of a secret. I know that the town would be interested in having space on it as well.
Yes,
For
and we usually provide
our
it for free.
emergency.
Yeah,
Right.
we
So
usually
I-
provide it for
so
free.
So I know that's going to
Yeah.
be asked. So be ready
Yeah,
for that.
If you know that, and usually if you go to zoning, they basically make it a condition of approval anyway, and we just accept it as a given.
Right.
We give
right.
it. Fire.
Well, the
fire
town
police.
has been looking for it anyway, so that you guys.
Yeah,
the
that's
timing
usually, yeah.
was good on that for your part. And how? So the tower is about 100 feet tall.
And we've proposed for ourselves, and that's what we need for our coverage objective. Every carrier is different. So usually by suggesting that, since it's 120, for example, I mean, town might want a space, I don't know, you guys might want some beeps, so you can even put it above us, right? But every carrier needs about 10 feet of separation at least. So if say it's a 4 carrier tower, so the lowest would be at the 90s, 120, 110, 100, and a 90. So 3 line there is probably around 60, 65. But I mean, there's area that has gap. There's not many towers and around it, even and nobody has many sites around that area. So I'm sure every carrier wants to be as high as possible. So maybe when we do go to permitting, some towns actually call it, okay, let's build it extendable, or let's build it higher, because I'd rather have one higher tower, say 150, than like somebody else coming after you and asking for another tower nearby.
Right.
So that comes. I mean, we are good with 120, but that's just Verizon and Verizon objectives. If town wants to have this one asset that have all the carriers plus the police and fire, I mean, maybe you guys want to go higher. I mean, it usually figured out during the zoning process.
Right. And what, if you know, is the average height of the trees?
I think, we can do the survey for you too. Like the Sylvester can do the
Yeah.
survey. I would say by being there 60, I was like, I don't know. That just your
Yeah, you're right.
usual.
They're oaks like that. They won't
Okay.
go much time, 60 feet, 60,
Right.
70 feet.
It's
And if the town wanted the fake tree look, that's
well,
fine.
we are happy to do that.
Yep.
They actually make.
I don't know which is worse,
No, they
honestly,
make really
but,
good ones now.
yeah.
I personally leased one in Martha's Vineyard, and it looks great.
All right.
but some of them all look better. You're driving on the highway, like towards New York, and some of them, the one on Route 2 didn't look too good. But the ones that do right now, they're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
Pretty
The
All
other
right.
one that's in Berlin doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
Pretty well
Yeah.
camouflaged.
How tall is that one?
I don't know, I'd have to ask.
Where is it?
It's up at the junkyard on Colvin Road.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Never even noticed.
Well, I guess I can only speak for me in that, in theory, I'm good with this.
Okay.
We're gonna need to talk with the town
Yeah,
and
understood.
see what conservation can get out of it. Anybody else have any other questions?
I do.
Yes.
So with access, is it just maintenance? How often would people have to go?
Like
to
once it's
access?
built, like construction's done, probably once every 2 months.
Okay. And then my other question, is it going to be a gate there to keep
Yeah, the
people
fence.
from?
The fence it in, yeah. The fence it in. Put like a chain link fence around it.
Around the tower itself.
Tower, but I mean, as
the-
far as the access.
I mean, right now access is, you guys have access, there's like a gate, which is not really a gate, it's like it's open. I mean, we drove there. I mean,
Okay.
it could be locked, I know, like from the road.
Right, would you require a gate that's
We don't,
locked?
I mean,
Okay.
we don't, because the tower is locked, like the compound
Right.
is locked. We
I have a
don't,
local farmer that hay that area, and he's gotta get in and out of
yeah,
there too.
yeah.
Right.
We don't typically require, I
Is
mean.
that the Rainville? See that? Thanks.
Jake,
So I
right?
was just
Yeah, I
worried,
think
like
it's Jake.
if you guys make this, gravel road, that people will see it, and with like motorized vehicles that we don't really like around, we'll say, hey, look at this, we're gonna check this out, and
Right.
go rolling around up there, and then do more disturbance than we would want. It was like inviting people in,
I
like,
see.
hey, look at what we just given
Right.
you access to.
Yeah, we're
something.
happy to build, I mean, if you guys want us to build the gate over there, the entrance, we're happy to do it.
As long
for
as the
you.
horse could get around.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is like a metal gate there right now, but they usually, twice I drove there was open every
No,
time, so.
if the
Right.
dirt bikes shouldn't, like horses can get through
Yeah.
little things.
Right.
We don't
Right.
need much,
So
but I'm just.
Right, but that is a
No,
good point, Holly.
Right. Does this have to go to town meeting for
I
approval?
don't believe it has to go to town meeting, but it certainly has to go through the town administrator and the select board. They would be the ones who would negotiate, so we
Yeah.
would negotiate with them.
Right.
And we have to come back out, I mean, I didn't look too much into zoning, it's the planning board, zoning board of appeals for the probably variance there, assuming it's a conservation land and height. I mean, it probably needs to be, definitely special permit, maybe variance as well.
Right, I would imagine,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep, so just about everybody gets to play on this one.
I like the comment about restricting access, though, or it'll be a dune buggy mecca. I think
Mhm,
it's-
right.
Yeah, I knew as soon as, that's
Right.
what happened. So we know what happens in this town.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions for us?
No, I mean, so at this point, we're just waiting to hear from you, I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna touch base with the
Okay.
town administrator and the select board and see kind of how they wanna proceed.
Yeah, if you wanna meet, like, I mean, if you wanna meet after 5, we can have, I mean, right now, summertime, I mean, we can meet there after
Right.
5, or,
Yeah.
I mean, even
I
Saturday.
know, I think when we first tried to do that, it was
Was
like
it winter?
February or
Yeah.
something.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, we can. I mean, we walked it almost up to that tower location. It gets really changing to even. You're probably not gonna be even to walk all the way through to the tower location. 'Cause it gets kind of like rocky and kind of like a lot of vegetation there. But
Right.
probably almost like, I don't know, 100 feet before it, you can kind of walk to easily.
Okay,
Yeah, just let us know.
But the Lat Lawn location is the
It is
actual
correct.
tower
Yeah, like they
location.
drop that,
Yeah.
and
That's,
then
that's where we walk, that's what we did with the GPS, was
Yeah.
go right to that spot. So, was that a month ago?
All right.
About a month ago.
Okay.
well, thank you
Just
for
really-
coming
yeah, no
in,
worries,
thanks
yeah.
for explaining all of this.
Yeah, any
and
questions, you have my email,
how-
feel free to email, and
Yep.
then, if you guys need, anything, I mean, I don't know if your town council, like, I mean, I can recommend some firms who can work for you independently, like,
Right.
don't work with Verizon, but does work with other towns who can do reasonable RFP structure as well.
Right.
So,
All right,
all right, cool. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much for coming in. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. All righty.
I just think we ought to be careful about this, and I'll tell you why. We got situations in this town right now. We're getting sued on another deal we didn't look into enough. We're working, and the town's suffering from another ridiculous situation where there's a certain amount of soil being hauled into a certain place, up certain hills, literally destroyed a neighborhood. Kids can't walk on the street or anything else. They don't know where the end of it is. So we got hoodwinked there. So I think before, I wouldn't give any positive reading until we get all the details. And I want to make sure that that money goes into the open space fund. They put it into us, then they won't give us a budget. They'll
I
say
agree.
that that's our budget. So it should, if there's any amount of money, and, they talk about millions to extend the road, millions to do this, and they can't give $75,000 a year to rent one of the best spots in the area. We want to look into this good.
I agree.
Are they the ones that applied to Boylston that got turned down?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, because last year, somebody went,
I know that the tower that was proposed in Boylston was,
In a neighborhood, I think.
it was in a neighborhood and it was on like a postage stamp of a piece of property and like it was right next to people's houses and it was not nearly this
The other one in town.
well suited.
The other one that's in town does not get 75 grand, I'll tell you that. But I looked into that, so, but doesn't mean that we shouldn't, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, he didn't seem to think that was undoable. At least that's the impression I got. All right. Richard, is that you?
No, I'm Vito. Richard isn't here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're here for him.
Instead.
I
Okay.
have a question before we get started.
Yes.
My name's Michelle Pasconi. I
Okay.
own 197 Sawyer Hill Road, Berlin.
Okay.
On your map up there, you have my land as conservation land.
put your finger on it. What are you talking about?
Sawyer
I'll
Hill
bring-
Road,
Oh, I can't bring that down here. Let's do this one. This has the roads on it.
okay.
It's better.
And you don't have across the street, and they have the same deed restrictions as I do. So, you know what, either you take me off, or they do. And it's not really conservation land, because the town can't use it, can't sell it, it's not owned by the town, it's owned by me.
Okay,
So,
where is it?
There's a restriction.
Where's, so,
There's
wait,
restriction
let's
on
just-
theirs too, the same
Okay,
restriction.
hold on. So
Sawyer
here's,
Hill Road.
so Surrey Hill Road is, right here. This is Central Street. Which side of Surrey Hill Road are you on?
We're up the hill.
Up the hill, so here's Brewer.
Okay, well, this is me. Oh, so you don't have me on.
So you're on the it's the Chedco property.
Yeah.
The Chedco CR. Yeah. So yes, you have a restriction, as does Jay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, okay. Yep. So, is this all conservation land?
No,
Okay.
this is a map of the town.
There is a map up there that has me and not him.
Okay, well, it really, all that matters is what the Registry of Deeds has.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
Registry of Deeds has both.
Correct.
Okay, so,
Exactly.
and the restriction, the
Yeah, it's just a
restriction
map
is to
someone
only
made.
keep it as
10-year-old
farmland.
map.
It's not real conservation land where the town people can walk on it or
Now,
cross
wait a
it.
minute, you're gonna know some definitions you don't understand. There's town conservation land where people have a right to walk on it. Then there's CRs.
Restricted land.
The purpose is to protect the development and alteration of the land. The people can still own it. If the people work it out, we work it out with the owner. We don't just go traipsing across, we try to work out a
Right,
agreement
if
to
the
have a trail
owner-
around it.
if the-
So everything is that we do there, everything you see is perfectly legal, and there's no problem with it.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
Now,
this is a CR. It's
right,
not-
so the
yeah.
person who put the CR on this,
What's Chedco?
Right.
Mr.
Carlton.
Mr. Cotter, thank you, I couldn't pull his
Cotting.
name. He, yes,
Cotting,
ING.
yes.
Yeah.
yes, he decided what the rules were going to be for this.
He told
Had
me-
he decided
In-
to allow trails,
Yeah.
trails would be allowed. He did
didn't.
not decide.
No, he wanted it to remain farmland forever.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay, so what we're here for is for farming, to put on a indoor riding arena, which is a farm function. And we're gonna go, 20 feet into the conservation land as part of the indoor riding arena. The arena will be, what did I say, 60 by about 130 feet. It'll be used in the winter, and it'll only be used by the people that, stay in my board their horses in the stables. If I don't do it, I'm gonna end up having to close the farm, which will not be very good for the town,
Correct.
okay? So I'm just
So
telling you.
this is your property, I assume the highlighted one, do you want to take
Yeah, I
it from
can
here?
kind of go through just a little bit. The CI was originally drawn up way back when. I think you had the same issue across the street. I don't know if you remember.
There's been issues
Yeah,
with several
where
of these parcels.
This wasn't drawn necessarily by a survey. It was compiled
Correct.
from, looks like tax maps. So it isn't very accurate.
Correct.
We tried to survey it and nothing lined up with this here. It came close, but nothing really lined up. So the boundaries didn't hold anything. So all we did was we took the buildings and held the buildings as control point, and it kind of lined up a little bit, and that put the CI line. It's opposite of that one, kind of spun around.
Right.
But, and it put it here, but we still don't have any confidence that this is even that
Where
accurate.
the
It could
edge
be
of the CR
here.
is.
It could. We know that the buildings were intended to be outside the CI, but we don't really know exactly where they line up. I think across the street they had the same problems where nothing really lined up totally correctly. So this was the arena that they were looking to do, and when we show it as it's in it, but we're not even positive that it's in that area or not.
Right.
I'm just trying to get oriented. Where
Oh,
is
yeah,
that?
we're up
So
Right.
Surrey Hill Road is here.
I know that. I know that. Where is the driveway that goes between the buildings?
Right there.
Right
Yep.
there. That's
Right
it.
there.
It goes down there, and I know where that building is. So this is kind of up the side.
This
behind
is the
that
one we have a
building.
building and permit on now
Yeah.
that we're putting into
Yeah.
8 more stalls.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know the property.
that's what I wanted to know. I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
was wondering if this was, and it had to be, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of the issue, is just seeing if this is allowed with the possibility that it's in there, but it might also not be in there. So it's
So my recollection of the way the CR is worded, it says no permanent structures.
Well,
Is
let me
it-
tell you.
No,
they put
I know. Can
a
I
riding
ask
arena
my
across the
question?
street. Yeah.
Can I ask my question? Thank you. No, so this will be
Four
a shell,
walls.
4 walls,
Four
no
walls and-
foundation,
Uh,
no.
It has to have a dirt floor.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, but it will have, it has to have some kind of foundation to hold the walls.
Right, there will be posts that are secured to the ground, but you're not digging down
No.
to
Oh,
have
hell
a,
no.
right.
If anything, we're bringing in fill.
Well, that's not us. Yeah, right? I don't really know that, yeah, exactly. is right.
I mean, as I look at this,
The fill, it will be on,
You can-
on this part anyway.
On my
Huh?
as I look at
I might be able
this,
to get-
there's room to move that building and stay out of the CR and stay on your private land. There's plenty of room to move that.
I can't, this is a riding arena. I can't cut this down
Well, move the
anymore.
driving arena a little bit. You can do anything.
I can't move the riding arena because I'd be cutting into a hill over here. And I can't move if you really look at the property, you'd see that I can't move that riding arena. It's there, we just built it a few years ago.
It's really
Cost a
nice.
ton of money, huh?
Yeah, it's very nice.
It is very nice. It cost us a ton of money. It was done properly, and it's a riding arena. And I really can't move it. I'm upset that we're cutting into it 6 feet. I want to move this thing, but I can't move it over here anymore because the septic is over here for this house. Right here's a house, and the septic is over here somewhere.
So how are you gonna compensate? If you're taking part of the arena with the building, are you gonna compensate and extend the arena some
No.
other place?
No, I'm gonna just
accept
make
the
it
fact that
smaller.
it's smaller, all right.
Yeah, that's why this building is gonna be cut as small as I can make it, and this is gonna be pushed over as far as I can. Where the existing hill is for the septic is gonna be extended. This will join the hill. And
Got
then
it.
over here, we'll have a retaining wall, or whatever we need to hold the dirt in.
yeah, and
In
the
s-
issue. Yeah, it's the issue too. Is we
inside-
don't even know where that necessarily. It could be here. We don't.
The line.
Yeah.
Right.
That's some of the issue.
Yeah, and I agree.
So if
It
you ask
was-
me, am I positive? I'd say no. Not even.
Right, right. I will let everybody speak for themselves. I don't have a problem with you going 20 feet over that line.
Okay.
I don't. Again, because I know the lines are kind of a little squishy over there. So, I mean,
It's
We
just
have an
footings,
indoor.
it's not
we
a
built an indoor on
foundation.
our place.
It's not, you,
So I
you don't-
get it.
you don't want the horses running on cement.
I know.
So it's gotta be all dirt. It's the, that's, you know, that's why when the building inspectors tried to tell me it's a commercial building, and he was talking about sprinklers, I says to him, what? There's gonna be 4 walls of dirt. There's not gonna be a bathroom, there's not gonna be a kitchen.
Is it a pole barn?
They won't even have
Pole
heat.
barn.
It's a pole
It's
barn.
just gonna have foundations right with
Four
Footings.
walls.
Footings,
un-
I mean,
footings
that's what I mean,
under
the
the
Footings,
posts. Right,
footings
that's what I meant
under
to
the
say.
posts.
Right.
That's what we
And,
did.
and then, what do you call it? Footings under the posts and then wood walls. You know, it's gonna have wood walls and a wood truss ceiling.
Madam Chairman, I think this deserves an on-site visit before we just go saying yes or no.
I didn't
Fine.
say.
You can come and look at it.
Yeah. Approve it.
Yeah.
When do you wanna come?
I'm very flexible. When are you around?
I'm around all the time. I live there.
How wide are
Where
you
do
gonna
you,
make
where
it?
do you live there? How would I get-
197 Sawyer Hill
How am I
Road.
gonna reach you?
I'll give you my phone number.
Okay. we'll do that.
You can knock on my door.
Is it the place where Nelson Smith used to live, the Smiths? Is it the last house on the left?
Where I live?
Yeah.
It's
No.
Clover Hill.
I live on Sawyer Hill Road, number 197.
Right
I
across
live,
from-
you know the house with the big fountain in front?
Yes.
That's my house.
Okay.
So,
I wanted a little water feature, my husband went and bought a fountain. Could have killed
He
him.
thinks big.
I could have killed him. Yeah, he did think big.
were you talking only 60 feet? I mean, were you thinking?
This
'cause
is
if it
it's
was
70
me-
by 140.
What is
It's
it?
70 by
This is
1.
71 by,
Okay. That's
but
what I
we're
thought.
gonna cut it down.
Yeah,
We have to
71
cut it
is perfect.
down because I don't want to take that much away from this.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna narrow it up a little bit.
So
We're
what,
gonna narrow
what
it.
is
Yeah.
the ultimate size going to be?
65, the 140 is not gonna change. It's the 65, it'll probably be 65 in
my
here.
advice would be to stick with the 70, just because it just makes a big difference with the indoor. The outdoor won't be so much. It's a beautiful outdoor, but my personal opinion, I would go wider on the indoor because it will make a big difference. Because people are going to be riding in there more than you think they will be.
Are you part and parcel of this project?
No.
No, she's our,
Are you involved
she's
in
our
it?
No.
horse person.
No, I'm
Hell
not
no.
involved. I'm
But
just
the width
suggesting.
makes a
I
difference.
don't
I'm
even
just
know-
saying.
I
You
don't
use it,
know
you
her.
use it, and you're quite, you very interested in it, right?
Yeah, well, we have
Using
one.
it to use it.
Oh, I have my own indoor. So but I'm saying when we did this, it matters the width. So I would suggest going. I would stick to the 72 whatever by 140. That's a perfect size.
Okay, all
That's my suggestion.
right. I just hate cutting into the outdoor. The
Yeah,
outdoor.
you'd rather have the
nice.
width than the length in that outdoor. I know because my daughter rides too, and the width matters when
It
you're making the
does.
turn
It totally
around.
does.
You don't want that too sharp.
All right.
But I don't know what the ideal is. 'cause
I
don't
want
know
to tell
enough
you,
about horses.
I'm
I go-
allergic to hay, and I never
I go
ride a
watch.
horse.
That's all I
I've
know.
never ridden a horse. I don't own a horse. I didn't want anything to do with this. My husband bought the farm, and unfortunately, he loved it, but he passed away. So I'm stuck with it. That's all I can tell you. It's my headache. It loses money all the time. This thing's going to cost me $550,000 that I don't have. That I have
Who's
to.
building it?
I have to borrow the money. So a mark something. Why? Do you know anybody that can build it cheaper? I understand.
All
that
right, you
that's
guys
what-
can work that out, not at a
Okay.
meeting.
I don't even know her. What's your
Holly?
name?
Holly Kennedy.
Polly Kennedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
I know the key.
so, a site walk is a great idea.
When? Sooner rather than later.
Right.
Can we do it in the evening?
Yeah, anytime.
Right,
Some evening you get out, I'm flexible.
right.
How about next week?
Next
week?
week is great.
Good day.
Let's see. Where'd my phone go? Oh, no.
Are we talking around like 5:30? Are we talking about 7 or 8 o'clock?
What do you want to talk about?
No,
I don't care.
my schedule.
I don't have my calendar, actually.
I can do Monday next week.
That's good. Can you do Monday, sir?
I think so. I'll check my calendar
Okay.
at
Okay.
home.
It is Juneteenth.
Oh, it's a holiday.
Well,
Do you guys have the holiday off?
I don't.
I don't. I never have any days off, but I work 20, I work every day.
It's never a holiday when you're retired, right?
I'm never retired. I'm gonna be 75 this year.
Okay.
And let me tell you something, I manage 85 units of housing. That's not counting any of this horse stuff. Housing where people rent apartments and live.
I have a holiday.
Okay? So I am busy all the time.
Do you?
All the time.
Okay.
All the time. It never ends, because, you know,
All right.
people, toilets get clogged on a Sunday. They don't,
197, you said?
yes. But we're gonna go to 231 is where the farm is.
Right.
So I'll meet you right at the farm at
231.
5:30.
So you own two,
Can you?
oh.
I
that's how
own
big your property
The
is.
property goes from Central Street, that's why this stuff never makes any difference. My property goes from Central Street up past the big house up there, you know, the original was the veterinarian's house. Okay, past the veterinarian's house, and that field where the church asked me if they could have the Easter morning services. Yeah, past that to the stone wall.
Oh, so you.
100 and something acres.
So you come all the way to the corner.
Yeah.
Your
So you
this is all your property?
All my property, it's
Yeah.
about 100 something acres. Everything on, this is Sawyer Hill Road?
Yep.
Everything on this side of the street is mine, and everything on that side is Teachers. Except we own this parcel over here on this side of Brewer Road, and we sold it to
Yeah.
the fireman and his
Right.
girlfriend. I forget his name now.
Yeah, me too. I know him well.
Ted is his first name.
Yeah.
I don't know his,
So you own the house that the veterinarian lived in?
yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And the little house next to it,
Oh, okay.
and my house.
Yeah, and your
And the
house
two
used to be
barns.
part of, used to be attached to the veterinarian house.
Yes,
Yeah, that was divided into two.
yes, yeah,
All right. Excellent. So Monday at 5:30.
okay.
All right. Excellent.
Okay, give
Thank
me
you.
your phone number.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I want to talk to you, Polly. Here we go.
Where did you go recently?
Please.
I was gonna go and I.
No, I just.
Probably
we went through this
Crosby
ourselves, so
Road,
I just
which is
wanted to
our
offer
next.
advice.
It's so expensive.
Oh, well, you
I
need
have
to
to
go
take
with.
a mortgage on everything I
Me,
own.
me and Maddie and
I think you should
Louise and
talk
Holly and
to-
AJ
No, this is
actually
not a
were
good
also
time to
there.
be taking out mortgages either.
No, I know.
No,
Well, they didn't raise the interest rate for the
And
first
that's
time in a
this
month.
I
plan.
know today.
But
But,
it's,
Central One takes good care of me because
Yeah.
I've been with them for years.
all right.
Central One Federal Credit Union, they like me.
So Aiden, you're actually, yours NOI posted time, so you guys are gonna have to wait until 8:30. Sorry.
Hey, when you come up 5:30, you don't need him, do you?
No.
Okay.
No, is there any kind of, can you stick some flags or stakes or something in the ground?
Yeah, we could
That
do
would be good.
Yeah, like the four
To have some
corners.
visual, yeah, just to
Yeah.
have something to visualize
the-
where it'll be.
Yep.
Awesome.
The half pennies. They built their indoor. I can get you their info. They did
Thank
an
you.
amazing job on theirs, so I would go with those people because it really
Okay.
does matter who you get to build
Let
it.
me know.
All right.
'Cause I'm
All right.
looking I
Holly, are
haven't
you
signed
coming on
anything.
Monday?
Yeah, I'll
Can you come, okay.
I haven't signed anything
Is that
except
an
with
easy walk?
these guys and the
Hmm?
Is that an easy walk?
I think so.
architects
Right?
and the
Yeah.
engineers.
Yeah, I think it's just the
Okay.
That'll
field.
be pretty darn
Yeah,
flat.
how
Yeah,
about
you
the
might want to see our
tower?
indoor.
That's
You
not an
might
easy
like
walk.
it.
I don't
We
think
have
so.
really cool
No, I think you
trusses
should probably,
that are different. So you-
Oh, I'll bring my.
Skip
son.
that one.
Snow
Yeah.
pole.
See our place.
there you go.
Snowshoe poles.
Yeah, it's come
Okay,
over.
I'll give you a call.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you all. Nice seeing you again.
Yes,
See
thank you.
you. Bye-bye.
All right, so to fill some time before our 8:30 NOI hearing, let's move on to some of the land management issues. You want to talk about the garden?
I pick up the plants tomorrow at 10 a.m. for from Sudbury Valley trustees. And I'm leaving town Sunday morning for a week, so.
So you
Looks
would like to get
looks
them
like
in the ground.
Thursday might be the best day. Tomorrow might be a good day for a garden work day. I've put in some plants already. So,
Okay, awesome.
Boy, that soil is really horrible.
It is.
It'd be nice to have some compost in there.
Well, we
I
have
could bring a load
$500,
in
you can go
tomorrow.
get some.
Yeah, do you want to?
$40 a yard.
You can get
If
it.
you pay cash. If you don't pay cash,
Oh, we're
it's
not paying.
45.
Yeah, we wouldn't be paying cash.
Can you put that
Well,
in there
I-
where
Oh,
the
that's true.
plants are already in there? Does the garden have to be opened up, put it all in, build a base to it, and then put the plants back, and you fill in between
No, I
them?
think we're okay, because around those plants, I brought in a couple of bags, broken bags I got for
Oh.
little or nothing from Lowe's. Just, there aren't that many plants in there, but the soil needs to be amended. It's not ever gonna hold moisture and.
No, it's terrible.
And
yeah.
nutrients, everything just
Gravel.
perks away.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
that's what we should spend money on then.
Fine
Get
with
them
me.
delivered.
Well, we could have 3 yards delivered, but boy, I think that's too much.
Oh, you think it's too
one
much?
yard-
Okay.
They do a minimum of 3 yards,
Okay.
but I can throw a yard on my truck and bring
Yeah.
it in, so. I don't know, can we get that done between now and Saturday?
Which? The planting or the
Yeah,
amending?
yeah. Well,
Um,
I think they ought to be done together. I think we ought to
Right.
Do the amending and then plant.
Hey, Jay, go get this thing, give me a call. When you get ready to dump it, I'll come up and help you.
Yeah.
We'll get going on it,
Yeah.
we'll get it done before Saturday.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah.
else
Shouldn't-
want to
shouldn't
join
be-
us, they can.
Shouldn't be a horrible thing.
Yep.
Right, yeah, just send out a message when you guys are
Yeah.
working, and if whoever can come and help, will come and
Okay.
help.
Good
Well,
enough,
with it-
Walter.
If I end up having a rain day tomorrow, I'll message you too.
Okay,
We can go up and-
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This
I-
has gotta be wreaking havoc with your schedule.
Yeah. It's been a rough
So
one.
that's
Yeah.
tomorrow night?
AJ's gonna send a message out when they're working,
Okay.
so.
I'm away I leave tomorrow for the weekend, but I'll be back Sunday night late, but I'll do the thing on Monday. But
Okay.
I can't help, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's- I think I could probably be over there working by about 2:30 or 3
When?
tomorrow.
Can you get material delivered by then?
He's
Haul it in
gonna
my
pick it
truck.
up in his truck.
Oh, okay.
Haul it. I do it for
Oh,
my own
so,
garden.
right,
so.
so we should
Vote.
vote to spend money.
So move.
Should we
Aye.
should we go for
Can we,
should we
can
go
we
for 2?
have a
If
little
we
more
don't need it,
formal
we
vote?
don't
I was
need
gonna
it?
say, I make a motion for
Yes.
AJ to spend up to $250 on.
Well,
Up to 200, 200,
well, let's.
If it's
I-
40
wait,
bucks-
I have a couple of notes.
all right.
Would that be
The
from the
kiosk could
budget
use a
also?
little touch-up paint,
So that should be part of
and
the
it's
motion.
leaning badly. It needs straightening.
Wait a minute, what, I missed the
The
first part.
kiosk.
Oh,
It
yeah.
could use a little bit of
Yes,
painting.
it could use a
and-
little love.
And I wonder if that shouldn't be done late fall, early winter, just take the darn thing down, haul it home, do the work.
Yeah, we could bring it to my
I've got a
shop and,
your
yeah.
shop, yeah. And it's leaning pretty badly, and I tried to just, and the kiosk is not leaning, there's a sign, that big sign there, that's leaning
Oh, yeah.
toward the field. I thought, well, if it's just a post in the ground, maybe I can just pick it up, and it came up about 2 inches, and then,
And that was it?
There's an art to sending fence posts. I'll show you how.
okay.
We'll just set it up.
Yeah,
Can't be much
that's
of a
just it, we
problem.
need to just tamp
Yeah, it
some
won't be
soil
bad.
in. But,
It's not an issue.
that's other work that maybe
Yeah.
needs to be done, I hope it doesn't cost us much.
Right.
Yeah, but for now, if we could authorize, maybe for now, a couple of yards of compost.
Absolutely.
It is really, really bad.
Yeah. So,
Do you want to get some more plant material too?
I think we're gonna have enough to fill in that space, because these
Okay.
things, even though, they're like planting a bush, oh, that little tiny bush, I can put that right up against, and pretty soon that bush is 4 feet in diameter and
Right.
overcrowding. So these these native plants are gonna, I think they're gonna
Okay.
do well and will take off.
Right.
Um,
Do we want to get some mulch
Well,
to
that's,
keep the weeds down until?
that's something I think we could get from the town. We could have the town deliver wood chips.
Oh, right.
Mhm.
I think
And-
Fred actually did offer that.
Yeah, and, yeah, they, mulch, it's,
I have
it's
mixed feelings about
slightly a
mulch.
weed suppressant, but it's more a moisture control.
Yeah.
So you get a lot less evaporation, especially from a light rain, if you've got that down, and it slowly releases, lets that water flow through into the soil so it doesn't perk away instantly.
Right.
The other thing is, it has a tendency to leach certain nutrients out of the soil,
Mm-hmm.
but typically only the top 3/4 to an inch.
Really?
The rest of the soil, where the main body of the roots of the plants are,
Because doesn't it tend to fix nitrogen?
it saps nitrogen.
Yeah.
You've got nitrogen fixing plants like clovers and stuff, but it's essentially where the mulch is touching the soil. It won't leach from a foot down or 3 inches down. It's only where it's actually
Yeah.
touching the soil.
Oh, that
And- yeah.
is good to know.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think that's a little overblown, that wood chips tend to leach all the nutrients out of the soil. It's just not,
Right.
it's not, the physics of it just don't compute, and it doesn't happen.
Good, good. All right, so a motion,
200, 250?
sure, pick one.
Right, the motion should say where the money's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, so I make a motion to take up to $250 out of the budget for AJ to buy compost and mulch and whatever's needed there for the garden.
Just one question. I'm listening to AJ too. He needs 2 yards at the most. That's
Yeah,
$80,
it-
right?
It won't, yeah.
You need a few plants. What would, I'm just wondering that, I mean, yeah, of course, we don't have much longer.
I was gonna say, we only have 2 weeks.
Right.
It doesn't really
Right,
matter.
exactly,
Yeah.
right.
Forget what I said.
We've already spent the money on the plants.
Okay.
And I brought a
Right.
lot of plants in
All
for
right.
my,
Yep.
by the
Yeah.
way,
By the way,
those 90 or so pots that we potted up from cleaning that out,
90?
there was one left
Yeah.
about 3 or 4 days later. I put them all out in front of the garden, free plants, and somebody left one stinking. So
is that
so
in
they all
your
went away.
compost pile now?
it's still in my nursery.
Yeah.
I'm still nursing it. I don't know what to
Okay,
do with it.
so there's a motion,
Second.
second. We'll vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
You're gonna have, we'll go out to lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
We'll go-
no steak,
sidebars
no,
here.
no
Maybe-
lunch.
I was gonna say, maybe we should have made it 300.
No, I want receipts, yeah.
You will have a
I want
receipt.
legit receipts. No napkins.
We'll have to take Gracie with us. Now it's up to 400.
Yeah, right? That means sushi. All right, so we've
I'm
got
gonna put it on my calendar.
8-ish minutes. All the next 3 are yours,
Yeah, they're all
so
mine.
whichever one you want.
So the Horseshoe Pond baseline report, I don't know if anyone saw the email that I
I
forwarded.
opened it, but I didn't get a chance to go through the
No.
report.
Right.
Yeah,
Me
so
either.
they just sent over, they went out to, essentially all the boundaries and took photos at, points and wrote it all up. And
Right.
just want any comments or feedback on it, if we saw anything.
Not on the report, but somebody was mowed all around the field, the meadow, on Linden Street and Lyman Road,
Huh.
up close to the stone wall.
Yeah, I think the highway department does that, Louise.
Oh, on the,
Yeah.
along the road, they've been doing
Yeah.
that all over.
No,
Yeah.
this is on the
On-
property side. So you've got the stone wall,
Mm.
and there's some plants or some growth here, and they mowed along here and over onto Lyman Road.
On
Yeah,
our
that's been-
land.
Yes,
Yeah, I know that. That's the highway department.
oh, that is the
Yes,
highway
because when you
department.
come down, you can see it's a very,
Oh, okay.
I think it looks pretty good. I
No,
like
no,
it.
I'm not, no, I think it
Yeah.
looks really good.
Yeah.
But They usually wear those yellowish shirts, and this person did not have a yellow shirt on, so I just wondered.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you're wondering if somebody's mowing, no.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. No, it looks really good.
Accidental mowing?
I was gonna say, do we really want to complain about
no.
that?
I thought you were complaining, so I.
No, 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 no.
No.
I went by it yesterday and I
Yeah.
thought, geez, that looks good.
Yeah, well, they've been doing it for years. They've been keeping that open.
Right,
Right.
yeah. Okay, next.
So next is parking over on Lyman Road for Horseshoe Pond.
Yep.
So let's see. They sent an email.
The, who?
So Meredith and
Oh, so SVT.
yeah, SVT. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, Meredith and Kristen were wondering for the CR purposes. So they want to confirm that that was the area we were thinking of having additional parking. Let's see.
I don't know about that whole area.
Yeah, that's a huge area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much the whole. I think it's just along the road there. So that's where that driveway or the paved part is.
Right.
So it's just improving the existing parking.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
we don't want, then
Right,
the
yeah.
map should be clearer than that, so before
Exactly.
we improve it.
What,
So, like,
I guess the area across the street isn't ours, is it?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So they want to see what we envisioned for parking. It is important to note that the right-of-way of the road extends onto a portion of that current area where folks park between the road and the stone wall. So we're hoping to understand if you envision expanding the parking area further west onto the property.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to tell. I mean, it's a aerial map with hash marks over it, and it's, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, what am I looking at?
Even if the highway right-of-way extends into that parking lot on Linden Street, leave it that way. It isn't bothering anything. It'll be, we're not making roads any wider, fortunately. So there's, it functions, leave it alone. I wouldn't worry about it at all. Could almost make it a little bigger.
Right, well, I think that's what,
Yeah, they're wondering
what
if we
she's
wanted-
asking is if we want to make it a little bigger.
Oh,
So these the two little
Paved areas,
pads?
yes.
Yeah,
Right.
They give you a better
So if that
perspective.
was kind of just squared off a little,
Yeah, I think there's some big boulders right there to keep people from driving up into the resource.
Yeah.
right.
So is this where the driveway to the house? Okay, that's
Yeah.
what we're
Yeah.
talking
the
about.
driveway that
Oops.
went
Yeah,
down
there
to
are
the,
definitely boulders there to keep you from
Yeah.
going
the Boy
all the way
Scouts,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, really what we probably should do is meet them
Go
out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, decide, maybe we can get Fred to meet us too and see if there's any way that the highway department can help us delineate it a little bit. And,
That's what I was trying to figure out.
How many people do we anticipate going at any one
I
time?
know it.
Yeah.
right,
Good question.
I mean, I will
Well,
say up
I-
Mount Pisgah around the corner, you,
well, exactly, a lot of people park over here.
yeah, I know I've parked along here.
Right. So I think and I know that there has been an issue with people parking kind of on the corner
Okay.
or parking, on the side of Linden Street and, having trouble with visibility at the corners. So if we have an area that's, an additional area that is designated for parking.
Yeah.
Because sometimes on a nice weekend,
Yeah.
it can be pretty crowded up
Yep,
there.
yep.
At Mount Pisgah or right here?
Well, this is
Well,
the,
yeah, like-
the trailhead for
Yeah,
Pisgah.
okay.
Yeah.
Do people, are people really using this yet? I mean, have they always, or, I know I've seen a lot of people park up here.
Well, I don't know that they are other than the man in the pickup truck.
I see cars parked there.
Do you?
occasionally.
Yeah.
Now, is this MWRA land over there?
No, that's us.
That's a-
This
that's
is
us
this is part of the Pisgah purchase.
Oh, that's right, we do. Okay, so
Yeah.
we do have that.
Yep.
So, would we want to use over here then and just do without having to move anything?
Right up against the aqueduct almost,
Up against the what?
doesn't it? Isn't right across the street, doesn't the aqueduct run through there somewhere?
Yeah, it's right.
Right. I'd rather keep people here than
Okay.
on the side of the road
Yeah, and crossing the street.
and crossing the street.
Okay.
how crazy Lyman Road is. Yeah, so let's set up to meet
Okay.
out there and figure out what makes the most sense and how we're gonna work with that.
Okay.
Oh, by the way,
We're there.
So that would
Jim
make
McCook and I
4
did a walkthrough of Horseshoe Pond a couple of weeks ago, and we found 16 tires. He said he was gonna get a crew together to haul them out, but I haven't heard from him.
How far-
All right, well,
How far in were
So
they?
there would be 4 parking
Pretty
areas
good.
How would they have gotten
going
in
into
there?
that property now.
It was
2 on Linden,
dumping, and I
2
think
on Lyman.
Right.
it's legacy,
Yep.
most of it's pretty old. It's mosquitoes and stuff like that, part of the issue.
right.
I mean, there's enough car parts in there to build a 1942 Nash or something.
Right, where's the sign-in sheet? If you
Yeah,
guys
let's
could
keep going.
both sign in. Kevin, are you coming up or are you staying back there? Okay, yeah, okay, if you could just sign in, that'd be great.
I can sign in. Let me.
Yeah.
Actually, I can leave that. That's overkill.
Need a pen?
Sure. Thank you.
And if you could just pass it back to Kevin, so he
Sure.
can sign in, that'd be great.
I brought everyone reduced copies here.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I just realized it was this I was looking at, and not the Lancaster Road one.
Thank you.
I was like, oh, I looked at that earlier. I'm like, oh no, this is what I looked at.
Yeah.
I can put a
Thank
full
you, Molly.
size in the middle here. And you can look at it.
Alright, so I guess we should officially open the hearing. Has an DEP number been issued?
Unfortunately,
I didn't
not,
think I
but-
saw one. Okay. So this is a hearing for 199 and 201, right?
203
203
Crosby Road.
Crosby Road, DEP number probably 107026, because that's our next
Yeah.
one.
Probably 6-7,
Yeah, 6-7.
because
Yeah, Chris Hansen has 6-7.
Lancaster Road is 6-6.
Oh, 6-7, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I was- Okay, take it away, Aiden.
Sure. So this project, it's got a couple little parts, but they're all pretty minor. So this is basically to construct 2 additions. These ones are,
Well, right, so first let's do, so these are 2 parcels that are being combined.
I
Are they,
think it's still 1 parcel, but it just has 2 dwellings on it.
and 2 addresses?
And 2 addresses, strangely enough. When I look at it, at least on our GIS, there's no lot line that runs through it.
Oh, that's
I
fascinating.
think it was a mother and father and a daughter and her husband
Mhm.
who owned the property, who had the houses there.
Yeah,
For
let me know when you
example.
pull it up. Okay, and one of the houses is gonna be taken down and the other house is going to be existing with some minor additions
Exactly.
and paving the driveway.
Exactly.
And that's kind of really it, right?
Yep. Other than that is just the construction of the sewage disposal system. And there's also a 1,000-gallon propane tank that's going to be buried in the front yard. It's going to be right on
like
that
2.
retaining wall that
Yeah.
we walked past. That's going to
So
be sitting right
on
up
the Mass
there.
GIS, it does show
Oh,
up
there's
as
2.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
okay,
yeah, it's 2.
good.
So basically, there's going to be 2 additions on the closer side to the wetland in the house, which is the south.
Right.
This will be these additions will be no closer than the existing house itself. The existing house is, I want to say 88. So, look at myself. So
this little square and that little square.
So the existing house is 88.3 feet away from the wetlands. There are 2 additions.
Yeah.
I know this very well, by the way.
Yeah.
I dug a cellar into that when I was 14 years old.
And
50 cents an hour.
That is good pay for back then.
The 2 additions are 90.7 and 100.5 respectively. There's proposed paving down to the existing garage that's down here, as well as.
Where'd you paving?
So
You're gonna pave the main driveway.
You're gonna pave the entirety of the main driveway here.
In here, yep.
This is the existing gravel driveway here.
Right.
Then we're gonna pave this area here.
Okay.
Down to the existing garage.
Yep.
And then this hatched area here is an existing driveway to the barn.
Yep.
That the barn is going to be removed, the house is gonna be removed, and the driveway is gonna be removed.
Oh, right, okay.
So all
Yep.
of that is going to be removed,
Yep.
which luckily enough, net is actually a decrease in impervious area.
We like that.
And all disturbed surfaces are going to be loamed and seeded and restored to their natural state. Siltation barrier has been proposed down gradient of the 2 proposed additions, and a siltation fence has been proposed down gradient of the proposed paving. We proposed the siltation fence just for a little extra protection there. We were really, paving obviously can be a bit harsher, so we want to make sure that nothing gets over there. Other than that, like I said, pretty straightforward project. Just removing that. It's got a lot of little parts, but nothing too drastic here.
Right.
It is going to be the paving the entirety of the driveway. That's why we showed the entirety of it, but just this little portion of it here is riverfront, and a small little portion of it here is going to be within the 100-foot. Yeah, I'm happy to hear any questions or comments from you guys. Like I said, super.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was happy that we did the site walk. I was happy to see that it really is a minimal amount of work that close to the riverfront. When we were there, I asked about the pitch of the driveway, and you said that the driveway was going to pitch like away from the house.
Yep.
Which is also away from the wetlands and the riverfront area.
Exactly.
So, I mean, we'll have that in the order of conditions.
Sure.
We'll also, you didn't anticipate any soil storage, but we're, as a condition, it will be that no soils stored temporarily or permanently within the 200 foot.
Sure.
And then I would like just to have someone go out and check the flagging.
Sure.
So those are kind of the things I see about this. If anybody has anything else they want to add.
It's nice to have a project where they're gonna reduce the amount of dwellings. And
I know.
fix over some lawns, and, yeah, that area would handle what he wants to do. I think it worked very well.
Yep. Yeah, the other thing that we did mention a little bit with Casey was when the house comes down and the barn, just getting that area replanted with something quickly so that the invasives don't take hold.
Sure.
We saw a ton of bittersweet when we were out there, as it was.
Sure. I realize, lastly, there's also a proposed deck right here that, once they get put in, that's just going to be built on sonotubes. And then this well is proposed, so there's just going to be linear work to just connect the well pipe to the house. Other than that, nothing.
And has the Board of Health approved the well and septic yet?
Not yet. They got that a little bit after we submitted with you guys. We haven't heard any comments quite yet.
Okay. So it's probably better that we're continuing this anyway, just in case they do have comments, so we don't have to backtrack.
Yeah.
If something changes.
There shouldn't be any real change with location because all of our testing is outside the 200 foot. So where that leach field is going to be is pretty set in stone. It's going to be outside the 200 foot.
You're gonna do another leach field? You're not gonna use the existing one?
We are not, just because this house is getting planned on turning into a multifamily house.
Mhm.
So just
Gonna be larger.
a new construction is required there.
Yeah.
And I
In
believe
the same location.
It's not going to be in the same location. So the existing septic comes off the side of this house right here, right on the eastern side. It's a cesspool, which are kind of no-goes nowadays.
Indeed.
So yeah, that one is going to be abandoned and replaced with a leach field outside the 200-foot buffer. The cesspool is currently within the 100 and 200 foot.
Right, so the septic situation is actually better.
Mhm.
So the house, the house will be split into
Yep.
more than one family?
Yep.
But the footprint of the house is gonna stay the same?
Exactly. Besides the two additions, yes.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, they're so minimal though
Yeah.
that, all right, so, Walter, do you have anything else?
No, I mean, I think, it's a good area, and good gravel. It's really, talk about good perk rates and everything. They shouldn't have any problem. The distances look good. This is steep down here, but you're not getting down into there too much, so, yeah. There were, by the way, there was 5 kids raised in that house. Willie and his wife, and 5 kids.
Do you know when that house was built?
It was like a summer camp when I was a kid, and then Willie Beauregard bought it and expanded it a great deal, made it into a rather nice house, big stone fireplace in it. Yep.
Nice. All right, so we have to continue the hearing anyway. We would like, the proponent does need to pay for the
Sure.
flagging.
Sure.
It's not really a peer review, but it kind of is.
Sure.
It's getting late. We'd like to use Pat Garner in
Okay.
Northborough.
Okay.
He does a lot of work for us, so we'll put him in touch with you, and you guys can coordinate a time.
Yep.
Does that
We
work?
send B&T Associates, so that's David Crossman. He goes out.
Okay.
He's very good.
Okay.
He's always does a great job. We've been using him for years now.
Awesome.
Is the
So he'll
brook,
go out with them.
There's a perennial brook. What am I looking at it backwards?
So,
No, it's over here.
Yeah. So
Right
yeah,
here.
the brook is there.
But it isn't marked on here.
So there it is. There's certain spots where it basically is one. So it right here you can see wetland flag and riverfront flag 15. They've our wetland delineation decided that they were in the exact same spot and in the same spot, mostly because there's such steep slopes there.
So doesn't the brook run through here? Where is the pond? The pond in the middle of the
Kind of
brook?
right here, right?
Yeah.
Like in this little jog in the flagging?
Yeah.
Or like here. I think it was around here.
It is. I want to say that this
we
dash
parked
line might be
here.
the center line of the brook itself.
Okay. You know, it is
Like
that
right
important,
around
I
here,
just,
like-
because it is a perennial brook and,
You
you
see
know.
the two
it'd be
houses,
nice to-
I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's
if
what
it
you're
was,
talking about,
Yeah.
so kind of
if
like
it's
right
still-
here.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. And we parked like right here. And it was like,
Yeah, it must be
yeah.
right down here.
Yep.
Did you notice that little pond in there?
Yeah,
Mm.
I did.
I dug that with my 440 bulldozer, and it was legal when I did it. There was nothing, there was nothing wrong with it. I got stuck in it.
Did you
Skip
really?
Sawyer had to pull me out.
So how deep is it?
Well, it was
Or
pretty
how deep
silted
was it
in.
then?
You
Yeah.
put a- You put a pond in the middle of a stream and it silts in.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it
that's
looked
the
pretty
problem.
shallow.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
looks
Yeah, it's shallow now.
pretty
It was
silted
pretty
in,
good
yeah.
though. Had trout in it. He put some trout in it.
Yeah, well, it's nice and shaded and wooded there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great cold water fishery
Yep.
stream. All right, so we will hook you up with Pat,
Sure.
and you can hook him up with your guy, and they can go out. And usually, we don't require Pat to like come in and give a presentation and write a full report
Yeah.
unless there's something major.
Yep.
So usually we just ask him to go out and check the flags.
Mhm.
You know, an email reporting back is usually fine. So it's, you know, it's not a big,
Mhm.
huge expense.
Yep.
Um,
And yeah, I'm sure if there's any changes, they'll agree on it, and then we can send survey back out and
Exactly.
just locate it.
Yep, and then update the plan.
Yep.
Once you hear from Board of Health on the location of the well and septic, and get your DEP number, we should be in business.
Perfect. So there's, besides maybe the flagging, there's no real change you want to see on the plan itself?
No,
If there's any
I mean,
flagging
really-
update, I'll
right.
label the center line of the stream.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, really, you know, from our perspective, you know, there is a little bit of work at the house,
Mhm.
but the biggest thing is the paving of the driveway,
Mhm.
and you know, controlling that runoff is the thing that I would be the most concerned about.
Sure.
Depending, you know, when we were out there and when we were looking where the septic was going to be, you know, we may ask for a little strip of gravel along the edge of the driveway right there, just so that any runoff from the driveway just stops there. But
Sure.
other than that, I don't foresee anything.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, looks good.
Yep. All right.
Alrighty.
Excellent. So you'd tell us sometime. I would imagine the July.
Yeah, July
meeting.
14th, I
July-
think.
14th or 12th, whatever that Wednesday is. Yeah.
I think today's the 14th.
I think it's a 12, because I
Yeah.
can't be there.
Yeah. July 12th. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
All right.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Excellent. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Who is that?
The property owner across the street,
Oh, is that him?
and I believe it's his daughter.
He owns it, yeah.
Yeah, this
Yep.
is done.
Yeah. You got those couple of things
Yeah.
that we said that we'll condition.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, we have a page 2 tonight.
Oh, we do have a page 2 tonight. That's right. So we have one more item under land management. Morse Woods and Wendler CR reports.
Yep. So Kristen O'Brien from SBT went out and checked Morse Woods on April 7th, 2023. So everything's looking fine. Essentially, Morse Woods, the trails are essentially gone. The vegetation has not been cut back, and trails aren't regularly used, so they're not really staying open.
I was gonna say, where's Morse Woods?
It's on Crosby Road, isn't it?
I think so.
Or
Yeah.
off of
Is it-
Crosby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that swamp?
There's vernal pool up there. I don't think it's, yeah.
Because Morse Road is right there also.
Okay.
But pretty much looking good.
What was the point of all of this? What?
So SVT every year, Kristen O'Brien goes out and
Right, I didn't
makes-
catch that.
Yep.
from-
Yep, make sure nobody's dumping stuff on there and that kind of thing. So
Is it this little patch right here?
I think so, yeah.
Where are you?
This is Crosby Road.
There's Crosby. Oh, no, that's too far down. There's Jones Road. I think that's Morse Road right there. That's not showing up. So I think it's that.
Between Jones
Okay.
and Morse.
Right, that's what I thought.
Ah,
Right,
okay,
it's that
okay,
right there.
Okay.
Right, when you cross the tracks.
Oh, yeah,
and
on
come
Jones
up,
Road, yep.
Yeah, it's right
Right,
in front of you.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's a cliff to,
right there is, yes.
yeah, until you get up a little way and then it's,
Yeah.
I saw you walk through there one day.
I have walked through the thing. Shot a deer up there one time.
You were deer hunting. So was I.
All right. Excellent. So basically, the
know where it
reports
is.
show that everything's good.
Yep, everything's fine. There's just no longer trails. So if we want trails, we don't have to make them pin.
Right.
If not, it'll just be a nice piece of woods.
All right.
It's a nice piece of wood.
Nice piece of woods.
All right. And then she also checked out Wendler, April 7th. Nothing to note. Just looks
Good.
fine. So,
That's the way we like it.
and then she's going out, or Jim is going out to Acre. He just sent a message today
Okay.
that he's going out to Acre.
Jim McCook?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, he's helping Kristen out currently. Maybe I'll find it. Nope.
Oh, didn't. No, I guess that was that.
Oh, he's going out the 27th of this month to check out Asia.
Yep. I got that
Uh,
message.
Dan Stimson, speaking of SVT, sent an email today. I will forward it to you guys with 3 work days over at Highland Ridge. 2 of them are during the week and 1 is on a Saturday.
Yeah, I got that
July 21st, maybe,
Yeah, so-
something like that.
Wednesday, June 21st, from 2 to 4:30. Thursday, July 13th, 9 to 11:30 a.m. And then Saturday, July 22nd, 1 to 3:30.
So if anybody
Yeah,
is,
I'll be-
so there's
I'll
a.
forward that.
Right,
Yeah.
so I'll forward or if you want to forward
Yeah.
the email, there should be a link in there to sign up for a workday.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
That's great.
And then the only other thing, we got an email from a resident at Highland Ridge the
right.
other day of like a sewage smell and kind of brown looking water while she was walking, along the property. So I contacted Pat, and Pat was able to connect with her and go out and check. And when he went out and checked, there wasn't the smell anymore, and
Of course not.
and
Right.
the water looked clear. But he has her number, or she has his number, so she can contact him if she encounters that, and he can get out there right away and see what's going on. Yep.
Yep. All right, our last 3 items. Is this you?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Tohoto is AJ and
Okay.
myself.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so Old Home Day, excuse me, Recreation wants to bring back Old Home Day the way it was. A lot of games, a lot of cooperation with organizations in town. They might possibly try to do something kind of small for this fall. I think they would like to have it in the fall because summers tend to be pretty hot
Sure, and lots of people go away and
Right,
stuff. Yeah.
They used to do it in what, June? I thought it was before school
Used to
got
be
out.
June.
Right. But I remember it was hot.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, if it wasn't hot, it rained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Felicia Wheeler Lowe is the one who's spearheading it pretty much, and everything. I talked with her. Excuse me. So, I was wondering if conservation would want to do something if they do have it this fall.
I'm sure we could pull something together.
Yeah.
We've done something almost every year.
Yes, we
Maybe
have.
the last year we didn't.
Right.
One year I made a whole big display of.
Oh, I remember
it's
that.
still
Yeah.
out there, right? Isn't it still out
Oh
there?
no, that was for a different one. Actually,
okay.
that was.
Oh, maybe that's what
I
I'm
was in a
thinking of.
cast one with one of my hands when I did that.
Right.
Oh, that's the one I'm
Um,
thinking of then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I either the year before that or the year before that, I made this big display with all of these cubbies and little doors and stuff, and like what's in your backyard, and there were little. Like,
that's
oh
cool.
yeah, oh
Yeah.
it was
It
it
was-
was quite
yeah.
the
Do you
project.
still have
It
it?
almost killed me because it took longer than I
Oh.
thought, and I was up till like 3 in the morning the night before
Oof.
finishing,
Oh.
and yeah, no, that was brutal. I don't still have it because I didn't have any place to keep it, so I
Oh.
gave it to my stepmother. Was an elementary school teacher, and gave it to one of the science teachers or somebody at her school to
Okay.
reuse. Yeah. But yeah, that was brutal. But you know, something like that, we could put together something. We now have another handy person
Mhm.
on the commission.
Right.
So we could come up with something,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, I had a couple.
Especially with this a little bit of notice.
Yeah. A couple of ideas was to, AJ's done a lot of stuff on plastic and recycling.
Sure.
You know, maybe team up with Board of Health and the transfer station people to have a display about recycling.
Sure.
Could be what we're doing down at the flower garden. Or we could talk about the trail system.
Right.
and-
I actually really like the plastics idea.
Mm, right,
Yep.
okay.
Awesome. So get your creative brain thinking about.
Yeah.
Get Ann thinking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Recruiter.
the transfer station had a thing, they had a display of what could be recycled, and, like the clean pizza box and the
Oh,
dirty
yeah.
pizza
Who
box.
put
Yeah.
that, who put that together?
The transfer station people.
Yeah, what a improvement.
Yeah. Stanford.
Yeah.
with this.
Oh,
Yes.
he's doing a great
Right.
job.
He's all out there working all the time, you
Yeah.
know, come over, give you a hand, he's, you know.
Yeah.
Who's running it now?
Stan Rogolinsky.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yep.
Oh, and if we're doing about plastic recycling, we can throw in the nip issue.
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
So
Earth
I
Day,
was,
too.
yep. So on that note, Peter Hoffman knows the people up at Highland Ridge, or I mean at Highland Liquors. Somehow he got them to put a bucket
Right,
of trash nips
right.
in the store with a sign.
Wow.
Keep Berlin clean.
Keep Berlin clean.
Right.
You know,
Nice.
don't.
And I went in there
yeah.
today, and the
I think I have a picture of that here
probably
somewhere.
has as many nips in it as our bag did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, he brought it to them in a bag, a Lowe's bag. So he might have picked one up from us, I don't know.
Right.
But it was full, just
Yeah.
like ours was.
Well, that was the bag of nip bottles that we filled one of those lawn
Oh,
leaf
that
bags.
was how?
Yeah.
That was ours. We took it to
Oh.
the transfer
Huh?
point, and he told Stan, "Save that. I know what to do with it." And he went over there and picked it up and took
Oh,
it
okay,
to Highland
I
Liquors.
didn't realize that was, okay.
How many do you think were in there? 4,000? 5,000?
There's a ton of them.
A ton of them.
We should
Yep.
get some sort of like clear plastic cylinders and fill them up and make piers right at the front of the dump.
Right?
Yeah.
That's fine.
So,
I think we counted about 1,500.
it's crazy how
right,
many we have.
it
You
is
could
crazy.
just-
So I just want you to know it is not unique to Berlin or Massachusetts. I was in Pennsylvania,
Oh, it's everywhere.
and the instructor runs every day, and he picks up trash when he runs. He has made, you actually would love this. I should have taken a picture of
Yeah.
of his screensaver. In his garage, he built like a tool shed kind of thing. And for the doors, he recessed the doors a little bit and then put chicken wire over the front, and the whole entire thing is filled with Fireball nips that he's collected.
Okay.
Somebody doesn't have enough to do.
Right.
Okay, so I walked from the gas station to the corner of Linden. I dropped Meg's car off for her. And I walked that, 3 blocks? And I counted 44 nip bottles. I didn't have anything to pick them up
I don't
with.
have my phone.
44 nip bottles in that 3 blocks. And part of the time I wasn't looking at the ground because of traffic. You know?
Trying to see if I can
We had that
find
one
the
bottle in
email.
Yeah.
Well, they should
Anyway,
just
they're
stop
everywhere.
selling
That's
them.
the point.
That's the problem.
Well,
Yeah.
right. What were you saying? 10 towns in Massachusetts now have
And now banned. Yeah.
a nip ban.
Yeah. 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have the list somewhere.
So we could use
Where
alternative
did
to
I was
promote.
writing to
Oh, awesome.
Right.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
oh Robin Kennedy and
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So
But then they
that's
still
inside
sell
the
them.
liquor store.
But they
Oh, yeah.
inside, but they
Oh,
still
yeah.
sell them.
Oh,
but
they
they
still
put that
sell-
in the store.
Yeah.
Right.
It's in the
Yeah.
store.
So,
Right,
sell them and bring them home. Don't drink them in your car and throw them out the window.
Right,
Is
But
what?
Yeah.
part of me says they missed the point. Yeah, help keep Berlin clean. Don't throw your nip bottles out. Don't drink and drive.
Right.
No, that's what I mean. It's just
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
Yep.
I don't get it.
But it's something.
It's
Yeah,
something.
oh yeah,
It's like
it's definitely positive.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
But yes, don't drink and drive.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
So Toronto Regional School Outreach. Okay, so AJ and I met with the superintendent, Carol Costello, and the science teacher who's going to become the principal in September, Lisa Sequeria.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, they both were.
Yeah.
And they are gung ho for this. In
Yeah.
fact, they came up with some of their own ideas. Yeah, have a list here. Wait a minute, where did I put it? So we mentioned working with Conservation Commission, doing things like working on the trails, Earth Day, helping us with technology, for example, putting a PowerPoint presentation together, something like that. And then the subject came up that we could have a student member, associate member of the
would be
Conservation
amazing.
Commission.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be fabulous.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are gung ho. Actually, they're the ones who brought up the student member,
I
right?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I called it. I didn't call it associate member. I called it something else, and you said no, it's called an associate member.
Right, yeah.
Auxiliary member, I said, or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I just got it
Yeah,
wrong. but-
anyway.
Yeah, but
um,
Louise was on it. Let me
Right,
tell you.
and we talked about, Council on Aging could use them, the town departments, the historical commission could use them, different things. And they came up, they're working on doing an internship program where kids would say, gee, I'd like to work on such and such, and they would find somebody, that they could work with.
Kind of mentor.
Mentoring,
Right.
right. And I mean, there's so many possibilities here in town.
Sure.
Right,
Yeah, that's fabulous.
yeah. So we've got another meeting scheduled for August 9th at 19 Carter at 9:30 in the morning. And, we're thinking of inviting people from different groups to come to the meeting.
Awesome.
And the thing we found out is that the Boylston Lions Club mentors some students. They call them the Leos.
Okay.
And they do all kinds of community projects in Boylston. And one of the things they did, which would be very helpful to the Historical Society, is they did a lot of research on some of the historical houses and buildings in Boylston and wrote a report on it,
Oh, wow.
you know? We suggested they could help us put all our Earth Day pictures together in one place.
That would be fabulous. Yeah, I've done like nothing with that.
Right, yeah.
Just
And
been
they
straight
would
out. That's crazy.
Put it together and have a thing on our website.
Yeah, the website and the Facebook page.
Right,
Yep.
and both of those are getting huge comments and notices.
Awesome.
Right.
I mentioned that we missed a golden opportunity not recruiting a student or two to help with the bird banding.
Right.
Well, sure, it's
Well,
fine.
but, right, it's a 5-year
It's-
project.
Yeah, it's still going on. Yeah, but,
Yep.
yeah, we did say next year.
Yeah,
But I didn't hear you.
the bird banding.
Oh,
That
yes,
was
you
another
mentioned
thing
that
that.
came up, yeah.
Yes. Oh, they
How
were
often do you
excited
do it?
about that, by
Yeah.
the way.
So it's once every 10 days-ish.
Yeah,
That's
so
what we
it's
import.
like not just like a short period, I mean, it goes
Yep.
over a long
So
period.
it's, yeah, so we start beginning of June to beginning of August.
Okay, so
Right,
it's a
yeah.
good amount of time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it goes on for 5 years or 6 years?
So ideally, at least 5 years. You can keep going as long as
Right,
you want.
a minimum of 5
Just stay in
though.
the same place?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so there would be a third member of the staff involved. She's now, I forget what she does, but she's going to be the curriculum director.
Okay.
And, she would be handling, spearheading that project.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Fabulous work. Thank you
Yeah.
both
Right.
so much.
I mean,
Um,
the enthusiasm was just amazing,
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, and yes, I think the current staff is more open to it than we've had in a while
Mhm.
too, so that's awesome. Anything else about that? All right, and the last thing is Judy's bench. So I just opened the email. So at the last meeting, we came up with the beginning that everybody seemed to like. In remembrance of Judy, whose smile warmed the hearts of all she met, she represented, and then that's kind of where we stopped. And so I just, first, as a jumping off point, she represented the best of what living in Berlin is.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a consensus?
Yeah.
Should we be ending a sentence with a preposition?
It's okay now.
Okay. I like it.
Okay. What word would you add? Is
Something like-
about?
No, that would be the same.
Well, how big
That's a
a,
hanging.
a lot of words, what are you gonna put it on?
What did you have? She represents the best of living in Berlin.
Of
The
what
best
liv-
of life in Berlin? No, let's
the
just
best
go
of
with it,
what
run with
living
it,
in
run with
Berlin
it.
is.
Send it
How
to me
about
and
the
I'll
best
get
of
it
life in
printed up.
Berlin? Or the best of living in Berlin?
They all work.
Yeah.
They all work.
The
Yeah.
Right.
more concise, the better.
Right.
Yeah.
We will.
The only thing, is how much, I don't know how you could cover everything, but how much she did in town.
Right. Yeah, it's right. So, but I think
That's all encompassing.
I think that encompasses that,
Yeah.
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 All right. So you had offered in the past.
No, I can
Okay.
take care of it, send it.
I will send you that wording,
Mhm.
and you'll take care of
Yeah,
that.
I'll place the order and
Okay.
we'll install it on the bench, top bar on the back
Right.
in the middle.
So,
Is that
and
right?
when we do that, we'll invite her family
Yep.
to
Mhm.
come and,
Right, yeah, they definitely want to come.
yeah, we'll
They don't need
do
to
a
see
little
us put the
something.
screws in, but they can come and we'll,
Right, we'll have a
unveil
little,
it or
right, we'll
something,
have a little
yeah.
dedication.
yeah.
Are we putting a sign on an existing bench or are we buying a bench?
The bench that is over at the
The bench at the
garden that,
garden.
um, AJ put last year.
Well, what kind of a plaque are you thinking of, a brass plaque?
Yeah.
Painted?
Yep.
Try and order it in the next 2 weeks.
Put them all.
Do we
Perfect.
want to vote on
Spending some money on
spending
that?
some money? Yeah. Any idea? how much it
$250.
costs? That sounds good.
Yeah.
I make a
I'd be
motion.
surprised if it goes over
Second.
20, but that's all right. Did you have something else in mind?
No, I'm just
Can
thinking,
you-
that's a pretty flimsy chair. I mean, it's just that people could pick it up and haul it off or something,
Yep.
couldn't they? Well, I don't know. Yeah, you go bothering with a concrete chair and everything, it costs a lot more money. Yeah, I'd put it on there.
Okay.
We can
I'll-
always reorder the plaque if we need to.
Are we putting a couple of birdhouses up too?
Oh, Walter did. I
you
took
did?
a photo and there were 4 nice little blue eggs inside there.
Oh, nice.
Was it even a week? About a week?
know.
Yeah, it's about a week after he put it up.
Oh,
The
really?
wrens, I went around the field and cleaned out the wrens had stuffed them all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do. They
All the
fill them
sticks.
full.
Yep, I have cheep, 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 cheep. Every time I walk past I have a birdhouse on my light post going up my walk.
And the wrens?
I'm pretty sure it's wrens.
Yeah, I think I
I-
saw it.
something, they've not fledged successfully once, and this is probably the 5th or 6th year they've done it, so something always gets them.
Yeah.
I come home one day and there's no cheep, 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 cheep anymore. I don't ask any
Raccoon.
questions.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Well, I put a box down to the landfill, down to the transfer station where you're going out and all those piles of chips are here. You can't see it because it's tucked a little around the corner, but the wrens had had that stuff full of brush. I emptied that out last week. Yeah.
So blue eggs are robins generally.
Yeah, I think the hole's kind of small. But
Right, well, that's why I
Yeah.
was,
So thrushes, so bluebird will have blue eggs as
Yeah.
well.
oh, good.
Yep.
Yeah, bluebirds are.
Oh, so you think it's,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, yep, so that would be
Awesome.
bluebirds. White eggs would be tree
Yeah,
swallows.
right.
Yep. Awesome, yay.
Good.
So I'll make a motion.
Fine.
Wait a minute,
To,
Well,
what?
there's another thing on that list.
Yeah, and we're making a motion so AJ can
Oh,
spend the money.
excuse me, I
Yep.
thought you were gonna move the.
Oh yeah, no. I
I'm sorry,
next.
my apologies.
So I'll make a motion to allow AJ to spend up to $100 on a brass plaque for Judy's bench
Second.
From the.
from the budget. Thanks.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Good idea.
Hearing none, I'll ask you to vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, excellent. And I will email you. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now while I'm not
I
doing
was looking for
anything
that
else.
photo of the eggs, but I maybe threw it away. I don't know.
Yeah, they usually build their nest like pine needles.
Yeah, this was minimal nesting material compared to things like wrens.
Yeah, the wrens, then they overtake the bluebirds. We had bluebirds, and then the wrens came and kicked them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over.
Shoot the wrens.
Yeah, I had that happen too.
That's what I
Really
do.
drives them
shoot the damn
crazy.
thing.
Mr. Environmentalist over
Well,
here.
they're native birds too. They're protected under the
Yeah.
Migratory Bird Treaty.
Well, my bluebirds are protected too.
Oh, no, I'm
But we
not
have
doing
Oriole
that.
nests.
Oh, nice. It's like
Yeah.
hanging down through.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we have,
I had
Pretty
one
cool.
once. It was
we've had
awesome.
4 male orioles at our grape feeder all at once. And they
Wow.
swarmed a
Nice.
little bit, and the catbirds came for a while and like drove them off, but then, so the nest, they must have hatched, because the orioles are back again, and there's been a catbird and an oriole on the feeder all at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I can't find it.
While a hummingbird is at this feeder over here.
You carry your office with you.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the issue is the wrens to make like fake nests. So they'll
That's
just fill
right.
up a box
That's
with
right.
sticks and
Kinda
not
it's
actually
easier
use
to
it.
do these
Yeah,
ones
that's
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
do. Right.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
I empty it, and they
Yeah.
put it back in there
Right.
again.
Yeah.
And they'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
Unless-
Come on. Let the
There's
bluebirds
a slow-mo
use it.
release. It'll take 10, 12 seconds before, there it goes.
Wow. Was she so thrilled?
Oh my. Yeah, when I asked her about, she was with it, when Louise and I met with Carol, and I said, what was your role in the bird banding? I released the birds, and then she went in this whole diatribe with these principal and superintendent about how one of the birds had been recaptured, and we had to read the tag.
That's awesome.
Couldn't shut her up.
Yeah.
Gracie? What?
All right, and I just emailed
Okay,
you that.
good.
So
I'll
that's
get
good.
on that.
Excellent. Does anybody have anything else?
Yeah, I would just say that, you know, I got a little impatient on some of these approval things. When I ran for this town years ago because I liked the town, protect it. Everybody wants to get in on it. I wrote up Board of Health laws enforcing refuse 5-acre lots. There are many lots that we turned down that now have houses on them. So everybody's giving a little bit and taking, and you know, it's, go in with defending the town and the environment. I don't want Berlin to be the central regional place for people to have outdoor recreation. SVT is interested in building SVT's membership because that supports them. I'm interested in protecting the nature, the naturalness of the land. We don't need any more parking lots. And I would just say that. And plus, there's nothing wrong, if you want it, they can park on the other side of the road. That's ridiculous, you can't walk across the road. No more parking lots, no more getting in and accommodating more people into the environment.
Yeah, very few people use the first parking lot off the street.
Right, that's right. Maybe put a sign there, parking for Pisgah, but the other place is up on the old Divine Farm there. I don't think anybody uses that. I'll see a car in there occasionally.
One day I saw 5 cars in there.
You did?
Yeah, one day.
Okay.
But no, most of the time it's empty.
It's
Yeah, you live right up there, right?
It's a deadly place to come out of, I'll
Oh,
tell you
my.
that.
Yeah.
So that's our copy, and these are
Well, I think the
photocopies
fence
you made
makes
of those
people think
pages?
that-
Or
No,
were
they
they
were
The
just
just?
in
fence
there.
looks like there's no
Okay.
way to get in.
All right, I'm gonna
The
take
trail.
these.
Okay, yep.
Oh, well, we put up a sign trail that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Way to protect the environment and keep it natural, not to develop it into a recreation
That's the
center
old
as far as I'm concerned. I think I got that from you.
Is it time?
Is it time?
Oh, you can make a motion.
I make a motion to end the meeting at 9:16 PM.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.